Welcome back to the CSF Racing YouTube channel. Today is going to be episode number 4 of the CSF TRD build. It is the 2022 4Runner TRD Pro owned by our operations manager, Christian. Today is April 6th. We got less than 1 month to get this thing ready for the Pit and Paddock Cars and Coffee show at the CSF headquarters. Let's recap what we did, Christian.
So yesterday we went ahead, we installed this Weston front bumper along with their super winch. Pretty easy to install. I mean, the scariest part was cutting, but literally that was the first time I'd ever cut anything on any car. If I could do it, you could do it. It was pretty simple, so.
Next thing we're gonna do is put a Rocket Bunny kit on his 4Runner.
And we also finished up putting on our MBRP exhaust. So that's all nice and mounted. It went in pretty easy. We did actually have to go and get a different exhaust clamp just because we had broken the other one. So we just ran to the store and grabbed a quick clamp. So went ahead and fixed that.
We're gonna be installing a lot of the accessories. So today is really like an accessory day. Why don't we talk about some of the items that are laid out? We'll start first with the SwitchPro. So what exactly is this gonna be doing? Controlling all your lights?
Yeah, so this is gonna control all my lights. We're gonna have the front bumper light bar, the roof light bar, ditch lights. I'm actually gonna mount my train horn to this too.
Talking about your lights, you know, you and I kind of spoke about it earlier today. We had gotten a KC HiLiTE, basically a double stack one, right? And this is a single stack one. So, you know, like with a lot of builds or any build, people have always ordered maybe parts that may not fit until you start to realize that when everything's on the car. We have a solution in good CSF fashion. We're actually gonna do some custom fab work. So we're gonna have a Weston bumper unlike anybody else's. We are going to widen the mouth and flush mount a double stack KC HiLiTE LED bar so we can still use it. It's gonna look ultra aggressive, ultra bright. Yep. So that you're gonna be doing this weekend?
Yep, so we'll be doing that this weekend. We also need to make custom brackets for our roof rack light bar. The one we ordered was just a little bit too long, so we're gonna be custom fabbing some new brackets so we can fit our 40-inch light bar up here.
So you got a 40-inch, and you were explaining this to me earlier that really the way they market it is they say it can fit a 40, but the way it's on here right now, you can't fit more than a 36.
Yeah, you can probably fit a 36 at most.
Okay, so he's gonna be making like custom extension brackets so he can really get that whole 40-inch light bar installed. So those are your custom fab projects that you're gonna be doing this weekend. Now that we got the hood down, we can talk about the ditch lights from KC HiLiTES that we're gonna be putting on it as well.
We have our ditch lights here. KC supplies these pretty heavy duty brackets. It actually uses all the stock components. So essentially this is gonna go under and they're gonna be hanging about right here. And then they'll just be pointing outwards. When you're hitting the trails at night, you can see whatever's in your peripherals pretty well. Again, it's another thing where, you know, we're putting these lights on not just for show, they actually have function and it could actually help you if you're in a tight situation when you're going out at night. That's a big plus.
We also are gonna be talking about, you got the compressor, right?
Yes, here we have our single ARB compressor we're gonna be installing today. I wanted to go with the dual compressor setup, but ARB is currently out of stock, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on. What this allows me to do is when we air down when we're hitting the trails, the reason for that is so you can get maximum amount of traction when you're on the trails. When you're getting ready to hit the streets, once you're done having fun and whatnot, you can go ahead and use this to air them back up to OE specs.
Christian, where are you gonna be mounting that compressor? Do you have an idea?
I'm actually gonna be mounting it back here behind the air aid intake. We have plenty of space back here to put any kind of universal mount that they supplied. We can put that here with no issues.
And then you're gonna be putting the SwitchPro board on this side?
Correct, the SwitchPro is gonna go right above that relay where your hand is. It's gonna mount up right there. They supply a bracket so we can drill into that wall right there and mount it up with no issues.
Cool, so we're gonna be mounting some things into the engine compartment, kind of tidying some things up over the weekend with the custom fab, and yeah, so we're gonna get to it. We're gonna put some of these accessories on the vehicle today, and last but not least, we're gonna go for a driving impression. You know, today is a good point because after this, things are gonna be going to the shop. I believe it's Astra,
yep.
Right? He's gonna be helping us with the brakes, the suspension, and the lift, and the tires mounting, all that stuff with the Titan 7 wheels. Yeah, we're gonna get a nice driving impression, see how all these bolt-ons work together, and stay tuned. Let's get to it.
How easy is this skid plate install, Casey?
You gotta take all the old stuff off. It doesn't bolt up over the initial TRD skid plates. So we gotta remove all these skid plates to put the new integration plate here. It's not too bad.
Part are you on now?
This right here is called the integration plate. It works with the TRD package skid plate in the front. Everything interlocks. So as you work your way down, everything slides into itself. So you wanna leave it loose as you work your way down.
Wear gloves, kids.
You heard the man!
This is just a base bracket to keep it steady. I already have like a main bracket already fixed into the car that this is just gonna mount to, so just making sure everything fits properly so we don't run into any speed bumps, because speed bumps are bad, but they happen. Install was pretty easy. We just had to modify a couple things on the bracket so the awkward mounting points on the bottom of this compressor can snug on no problem. So that's pretty much all I did. Just made those modifications. Everything else was just bolt-in, so all we need to do now is wire it and see if it runs, but that's going to be later because I'm not going to be doing any wiring today. Now that the compressor's done, we're going to go ahead and hop back to our SwitchPro. Now that the compressor's mounted in, we're going to hop back over to our SwitchPro. Now it's probably the most difficult part of this, which is running the wire through the firewall into the cab, so we're going to be working on that next.
Is it that hot?
I'm white.
We made a hole through the rubber grommet on the firewall. All we're gonna do, we're probably gonna tape this to that screwdriver that we have sticking through and just yank it through. We should be able to wire this up to our SwitchPro. Another option is you could take this off right here. That way it's a little easier to slide it in through the firewall, but then you'd have to repin. Like we mentioned in the other episode, I'm partially colorblind, but correction to that, I'm actually fully colorblind. So I cannot do wiring. If you do end up needing to repin, it actually has a rear view. So you know exactly how it should go back into the pin.
What are you doing?
I am finding the SwitchPro its final resting place. That snaps in.
The TRD.
This plugs in, and its final resting place is going to be right there.
Nice.
Very nice.
USA.
USA?
Yeah.
Sheesh, brother.
Let's start this baby. We got the pedal commander, so that's gonna working with the air raid intake. Then we have the MBRP exhaust also. Let's go test these out. How many points for this guy?
400, Ronald
Dang.
McDonald.
Woo! Like I stated before, this thing suffers majorly when it comes to throttle response. So the intake and the pedal commander pretty much destroyed that problem. Had the pedal commander and the intake in for about a little over a week now, so I've had some drive time with it. And I can tell you one thing, it is amazing. Definite if you're looking to modify your 4Runner, I would suggest those two be your first mods. Lights look pretty nice right there. Oh, as you hear all my tools just You're not a tool. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we are actually going to be dropping this off to Astra Auto, who's going to be doing our wheels and tires as well as our Icon lift kit. So stay tuned for that. It's coming pretty soon, so be sure to like, subscribe for whenever that next video comes out.